it's Di here from Diane, and this week I'd like to show you how to make this. I know it just looks like a box, but it actually is a box that contains a nice card. So for a birthday, Father's Day, Mother's Day, depending on how you make it, and a gift card holder. This gift card, I don't have a gift card, so I can't put a gift card in there to show you, but it fits one in there actually, actually beautifully. So this is what we're going to be using. This is what we're going to be making, the whole lot, the whole ensemble. So we will start with the card first, as I think that that's the easiest way, and we can just work through the whole lot. We're going to be using this beautiful bundle. Now, this bundle comes with the dies, and I haven't brought the dies over with me, so I'm sorry for that. It's actually in the new catalogue, in the new annual catalogue, which went live on the 3rd of May. So we are going to be using "Wishing you all the happiness you can imagine, and you are wonderful in every way." That's all I'm going to be using out of that. But it comes with these beautiful stamps and beautiful dies to match all the things. And you can also get this lovely paper if you buy the suite. This paper is called Hues of Happiness, and it is absolutely gorgeous, and this is the paper we're using today. I absolutely love it. It's gorgeous. What do you think? I think, look at that, lovely colours on the back there, which are great for all kinds of people, not just females. And that one there too. Oh, look, I can't wait to use some of this paper. That's a, oh, wow. And then we have these beautiful flowers here, and the dies will cut these flowers out, these bigger flowers here. So that's really great. And you've got those in the darker tones there, the purples and the blues, and then we've got them in the pinks and the yellows, and that's just absolutely gorgeous paper, and I can see myself using heaps of this paper. So we are making this, using this one today. So, and I'm going to be using one product that is retired, which is the Pretty Label Punch. Now I've punched two because we're going to need three of these all at once, so for the project, but I've only done two to save a bit of time, but we will go through how I did that with the last one. So we'll pop them on the side. We'll use one for this first project, which is the actual card. Now the card measures 7 3/4 by 5 1/4, which is a bit smaller than a regular card, but it does actually fit into the box really well. So you'll need a layer for the inside and the outside, and these both measure 3 5/8 by 5 inches, and then we need our inside pieces here, which measure, and they're both exactly the size, the inside and the DSP measure 3 3/8 by 4 3/4. And as you can see, I've already stamped the saying for our card, because you don't need to see me stamp it over and over again, and we're going to be using old olive ink anyway. So this is directional, so you'll have to make sure that you put it on the correct way up. So let's pop this out of the way, and we'll bring in the scoreboard, and we'll score our main card on the long side at 3 7/8, remembering to use the small ball because we're using card. Once we've done that, we can pull this out of the way. Oops, oh gosh, top of my boards. That's better. We can just fold and burnish this card over as we do a normal card, and glue all the bits together. Now this is a really simple card, because I wanted to make the project as a whole. I didn't want to make everything. Don't tell me my glue is going to play up again. It shouldn't do. It was all cleaned up. There we go. So that's the insert, and we will be stamping again anyway with the same saying on the gift card holder. So we're going to pop this one onto here. Look at that paper on that side. How pretty is that? It's really like party-like, isn't it? So we've just popped that one on the outside like that, and then we'll glue these together. I think I've got to fill this up. It's getting a bit low. We'll get there. This one goes on the inside. This one, just remembering if you've got directional paper to put it around the correct way. And this one goes on the outside, like so. And because we're only just making a very basic card, we don't need to worry too much. And we're going to pop this onto the middle here with a couple of dimensions when I can find them. There they are, they're hiding. So I will show you how I made this. And we'll finish off with all our embellishments at the very end. So there's the main card there, which says wishing you all the happiness you can imagine, and it's just in the middle, and it's just a nice plain little card, but it actually is just perfect for this project. So let's pop that out of the way for a moment, and then we will work on the gift card holder. So for our gift card holder, we have a piece of card here that we're going to stamp on. So we'll go through all the pieces first. Excuse me. Now this piece is 8 1/4 by 4.5 inches, and then we have 2 pieces of designer series paper that measure 3 3/8 by 1.5, and we have 3 pieces of designer series paper that measure 3 3/8 by 2 1/8. Now we're not putting the pink layer behind on these because it's just too narrow and it would be too bulky. We're then going to have another piece of designer series paper, and as you can see it's a different colour because of the way it graduates down, but that's fine. This measures 3 3/8 by 1 7/8, and then we have a white writing panel so we can write just a little message on the inside, which is 3 3/8 by 2 1/8. So we're going to stamp this piece first so that that's done, and we're stamping that with our saying that says, "You are wonderful in every way." I think I put the wrong one on the inside. No, I didn't. There we go. "You are wonderful in every way." So that matches the inside of our other card. So that's all the stamping we're going to do with that block. Let's pop this away, and we'll pop that out of the way to dry, and all of these pieces up here. And we will bring in our scoreboard and score this piece. Now this piece we're going to be scoring on the long side at, and again remembering the small pin, at 2 and, I can't even read that from there, let me bring that over here, at the 2 inch mark, 2 inches, at 4.5, six and a half, 6.5, and 6 5/8, which is the next one after it. Oh, I forgot one, and 4 3/8. So I scored that at the wrong spot. That wasn't very clever. That should have been 4 1/4, 4 1/4, and 4 3/8. Told you I can't read too far away. That line's not going to show, but if you turn it over and you don't done that, you can just turn it over and rub your ball. Sometimes it's easier to do it with the bigger side, and just rub it along there so that you can see that it actually disappears into oblivion. And so there we are. So let me go through this again. So we have 2, 4 1/4, 4 3/8, 6.5, and 6 5/8. Sorry about that, but as you can see, we won't see that anyway because it'll be covered with our DSP. We're going to pop this onto the short side now, and we're going to score this at 1/2 inch and 4 inches. And that's all the scoring we're going to do. So as you can see, it's just noticeable there, but you won't see it at all. Honestly, you won't. So let's get this moving. Oops, I've dropped my scoring tool on the floor. And what we're going to do now is we're going to, this end with only the single line, the single score line, is going to be turning towards you. Okay, and what we're going to do then is we are actually going to, actually it'd probably be easier if I turn it the other way around. So the single score line is away from you, which is actually easier. I thought I brought over my bigger scissors, I did. Let's have a look. And we're going to cut all the way down to that line. So, because that's the only score line we actually need. The only part there. So we're going to wedge that in a tiny bit too. Oh my goodness, my hands are shaking really bad today. Don't ask me why. No sugar. That's what it is. Okay, so that looks a bit yucky on that corner. Let me just pit that bit off. That's it. And we're going to do the same on the other side. So we're going to turn this over. It's just easier for me to cut all the way down on the one side. Some people can do it the other. I'll get rid of those ones and bring in my other scissors. And we're going to just pop that piece off there like so. So we have our piece that looks like this, and we will wedge this corner and this one in as well. Okay, so that's all our pieces that I've cut. And now what we're going to do is we're actually going to fold and burnish all these lines. Now, with these ones, it's easier to just fold them gently around them. It doesn't need to be too far. You'll find that they do bend easier, like so. And these ones in on the side. If they don't need to be really hard down, those ones. It will actually go, yes, that's going properly when we need it to. So this is going to fold over like so. So that's why we needed the extra lines. So we will pull this one up. Come on. You just pull that one up a tiny bit. There we go. And that's how it's going to fold over. So what we're going to do next is we're actually going to add all our designer series paper layers. Now you'll find that the 1 and those two the same? Yes. 1 3/4 inch ones, I think that's the ones. 1 1/2 inch ones, sorry, are the ones we're going to be using first. And we're going to round the corners on the top of this one here. Sorry, I'm being out of the screen a little bit there. I think what I've done is I've actually pulled everything up a bit, so I might zoom you out just a tiny bit. There we go. And we will do round the corners on these two pieces as well, making sure that we've got the pattern up the correct way if it's directional. And that one's going to go on the inside like so. Now this is very tight to the edges, that's why we didn't make them the other way. So we're going to just pop some glue onto these. And pop these one on the inside, if I can get it on there. I can't even see straight today. And one on the outside there. There we go. Oh, not really. There we go. That's a bit better probably. There. Okay. So what we're going to do next is we have 3 pieces of the same size and 1 piece that is a bit smaller. The one that's a bit smaller goes on that flap here at the other end. So we'll pop that one on first so we know where we're going. So we have it one piece on the inside, one piece on the outside this end, and at the other end this one is on the outside. We've got 3 pieces left, and we're going to pop 2 of these on the outside like so. Let's see if that one matches up with that one. I don't think it does. No, because of the way I cut it was across. So these go on the outside and this one will go on the inside. So making sure that your pattern is the correct way up when you do this, because you don't want it to be the wrong way round. So we'll pop this one on first. If you don't have a directional pattern, well, obviously that doesn't matter. Oh, gosh, I can't even see the score line, so it makes it really hard for me. The light in here today is absolutely horrendous. And then this one will go down here. Not all over my lap, because I've got an appointment this afternoon I have to go out to. So that's the outside of our card. For the inside, we're going to pop this one on this panel here, so that when this pops up, it just shows that little bit there, so that it doesn't look yucky, I suppose is the word. You can just see the end of that rather than the green bit. Not that it really matters. If you don't want to use that bit, you don't have to, and that will come up like so. So these bits are coming in here like this, and we're going to pop some glue onto these tabs. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop my bone folder in here like this and pull this one over on top. Now this will give me a little bit more room to move things around. Now that I've done that, I can now pop that out and just pop that down. That just makes it easier for sliding the gift card into here. You could also put a little finger hole in here if you wanted to. I don't have a punch with me for that, so I'm not going to do that. And then we're going to put our writing panel in here so we can write our little saying, you know, our thank you, happy birthday or whatever, happy Mother's Day on this section, or Father's Day if you're making one that looks like a mail card. Once we've done that, that will then fold up over and that will fold down. So I'm going to pop on a couple of these dots, these Velcro dots. It's too small to put a magnet on, and I just don't think that it is worth it, but that is just me. So I'm going to pop one of these, and this size is, let's see, it's 5/8 of an inch, 5/8 of an inch. So we're going to pop one of these onto the inside of our little pouch, and then the other one on top of it. These are strange ones that they don't come stuck together, but there you go. That's different countries make things differently, I guess. Pop those in the bin and pop that over like so, and that's our pouch. So we're going to pop our little thing on the front here, which is for this. Oh, excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat today. And I'll pop this one on the front as well, like so. So this is just one of those really lovely little projects. And it's great for anybody really, whether it be male or female. And that's our little pouch done. So let's get on with the last piece of this, which is the box. So let's move my things out of the way, pick my stylus up off the floor. Oh, here we go. Fancy dropping that on the floor. Move that, we don't need it. And we'll show you what we need for our box. Now my box, believe it or not, these are the same colour. Obviously the die colour is not identical, but it is supposed to be the same colour. These are supposed to both be pear pizzazz. But as you can see, one looks more green than the other. This one looks a bit dusty, like it's been out in the sun or something. But there you go. So what we need for this box, excuse me, is a piece of card that measures 9 by 9.5. And then we need a layer for the front which measures 7 3/4 by 3 3/4, and a designer series paper layer that measures 7.5 by 3.5. And our divider which measures 3 7/8 by 8 5/8. So we'll pop these pieces out of the way for a moment. And well, we'll pop all them out of the way, and we'll make up our little tag that's going on the front of this one. So let's move that there, I don't want ink on it. We're going to put our saying onto a piece of white, and this is just a piece of that was scrap. So it doesn't matter what size, because it will depend on what size your saying is if you don't have the same step. And the same with the punch, you just need something that will be able to punch out. So I'm going to punch that out of there, and that's our scrap. And we're going to punch another one out of this piece, which is another piece of scrap. Whoops, like so. Pop them out of the way. Get over there. So to make that fit on the back, as you can see, they're both exactly the same size. What we're going to do is we're just going to use our scissors, and we're just going to cut this down the middle like so. And once we've done that, we'll just use a bit of glue on this edge here and bring that over on top of this and line it up till you're happy with how much is showing at the top and the bottom. Just making sure that it's roughly even all the way around. Once we've done that, we'll do exactly the same thing again. We'll put some glue along the bottom of the other piece that we cut off, turn this around the opposite way and do exactly the same again. And making sure that, once again, that this is as close as you can get it. I know you can't always get it 100%, and if you look in the back of mine you can see that they're not always straight. So my eyes are a bit wonky some days. Once you've done that, that is our saying done onto our piece, so it's ready to go. So I'll pop some dimensions onto the back of this one, ready. So when we're ready to go, it can go on there. There we go, they're ready. Let's pop that out of the way, and we'll bring in our 2 pieces of card and do our scoring. Okay. Bringing in our board. We will start by scoring, let's move that over there, this piece on the short side, which is the 9-inch side. So making sure this, because it's only a ½ inch difference. So on the short side we're going to score this, and once again making sure we've got the correct end of our ball at the ½ inch mark. And the 8.5 inch mark. And then we're going to turn it onto the long side, and we're going to score this at the ½ inch mark, the 4.5 inch mark, the 5 inch mark, and the 9 inch mark. So we have ½ inch all the way around the edges, plus 4.5 and 5 in the middle here. Oops, you can't see that very well, sorry. I've got my chair in the wrong spot today. So ½ inch, 4.5, 5, 9, and then on the short side it's 1/2 inch and 8.5. So that's our main card scored. On our piece for our divider, we're going to pop this in on the long side, and we're going to score this at 5.5, 5 7/8, and 6 1/4. And that's it. 5.5, 5 7/8, 6 1/4. Okay, so let's pop that in there so it doesn't fly away. Pop the board down. We will start with this piece because this has a little bit of time that it needs to sit and dry. So let's pop that straight. So we're going to fold this as a mountain. Oh, sorry. Valley. Sorry. A valley fold, a mountain fold, and a valley fold. So we got this piece that looks like a little divider bit here in the middle, and that's all the folding we're going to do. So we're going to just pop a bit of glue through this bit here on one side. The glue's getting a bit dry. Let's lay that down again, and just fold that over so that it actually sticks the two pieces together. And then that is going to be our divider. So we'll pop that on one side and let it dry like so, and bring in our other piece. Okay, with our piece here, what we're going to do is we're going to, with the side that has the 4 score lines on it, we're going to cut up the first score line to the first score line and wedge that in at both ends. We're going to do exactly the same in the middle ones. So we're going to cut them up to the score line and wedge them both in. Oh, come on. That looks a bit yucky there, doesn't it, that bit? There we go. And we're going to do the same on the end one. We're going to cut up to that score line, and we're going to just wedge them in. Then we're going to turn it 180 degrees, and we're going to do exactly the same again. So our card gets up to the score line. This green looks so green on my screen here, let me assure you. It looks on my screen in front of me, where so I can see that I'm in the picture. It looks like more like granny apple green, and yet it's definitely not. Same again, middle one. And this end one, again, the same as before. Okay, so that's all the cutting we've got to do, even with all the bits all over me. And now what we're going to do is we're actually going to fold and burnish all these score lines. So, oops, I'll do it from this side, just a bit easier. Pop those ones in. Oops, get out of the way. In again. And we have all our score lines done. Now for me, I find that I just like to put it over, because sometimes it will fold better one way than it does the other, so you know which one's going to be the top and which is going to be the bottom. But it doesn't really matter. So at this stage what we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of glue on our corner, middle sections here, and we're going to bring that over and form a box, making sure that it's nice and square on the corners, because we want it to be a lovely square box. Oh gosh, can't even get it in the right angle here. There we go, because it's only 1/2 inch wide this box, thick rather. It doesn't have to be extremely thick. Okay, then we're going to do exactly the same on our corners. I'm going to pop some glue on the corner bits here, like so, and bring those up to form the box. It's not really easy for you to see, like this. There you go. And then we're going to do the same on these pieces here. These are the two tabs. One here and one here. Okay, so we're going to bring that down and make that nice and square on that corner there. And the same on this one here. So once you've got all those nice corners all nice and squared, I'm just going to, it's a little bit of, that's better. Okay, now you can actually put a finger hole in here if you want, again, if you really want to, you can put a little finger hole here, but I don't think it needs it personally, but that's just me. So that is our box. How easy was that? It's just a little pop open box like so. So we're going to pop this back and we're going to just glue this into place into the inside. Excuse me. So we're just going to pop a tiny bit of glue on the back of this piece here, and it doesn't have to be a real lot because it's only just sitting inside it. And what it does is it actually firms the box up on the bottom. So there's the inside of our box done. Pop that over and closed. Let's put our layers together for the top of the box. And once again, if you've got directional paper, making sure that you have your direction in the correct way. You want it to be orientated the correct way. We don't want flowers upside down or cars or whatever. So for me that needs to go that way up. So let's turn that over. My glue's getting a bit dry, so but I've got enough for this job. That's all the glue I need to do. So let's put the pin in there out of the way. Turn this over and pop this onto the front of the box like so. Making sure that's nice and tight. Let's turn that over and give it a nice press from the other side so we don't crush our box. We can then pop our tag on the front of the box like so. How pretty is that? Open the box again, and then we've got our card to fit in here and our gift card holder on that side there. Fold the box over. So now I've got these beautiful gems here. Look, these are absolutely gorgeous. They're called Glossy Dots Assortment. So, and these are new in the catalogue as well, and they're just absolutely gorgeous. So let's pop these out, and they come in 3 sizes. And I think we will use these lovely pink ones. So I'm going to just use these pink ones. Or should I use the yellow ones? Which do you think? Pink or yellow? I think the pink ones. So I'm going to pop one large, medium sized one here with a couple of small ones either side for the front. Like so. And then for the inside I will do the same again. So one large one. Come here, you. One small one, or medium one and 2 small ones. For the front of the card. And the same on my tag. And I think that is just enough on there that it looks gorgeous. So what do you think? I think that's absolutely a gorgeous project. and it's lovely in both the male and the female version here. I think that it's the sort of thing that you could give to either or, and I think it's just, I don't know, to me it's just a little bit different to hand this to somebody as a birthday card than to just hand a card that you've made. So if you've liked this project, please give me a thumbs up. Sorry it's a bit longer than I normally do a video for, but if you would like the written tutorial for this, you can head over to Di's Den for stamping, crafting and tutorials. Please give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this, and please leave me a comment. I do answer all my comments, except for the spam ones I've been getting a few of lately, which I actually just delete. So if you are a spammer and you want to put something on there, I'll tell you now, it will just get deleted, because I'm not going to put up with rude comments being put on there that have nothing to do with crafting whatsoever. I mean, I had a couple that's put on there and they did it 3 times, 3 days in a row, and it was for a sex site. Well, you know, I'm sorry, but I'm not a prude, but I don't believe that we need to do that sort of thing. And if that's your idea of something to do, well, get on and do it, but don't give it to me, because it will get deleted. So, as I say, if you would like the written tutorial for this, head down, you'll find the link down the bottom here for Di's Den, and I will see you again next week. Bye for now.